Hello, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Okay, good to see you today. Please type in the box your level. What level are you? Are you elementary, intermediate, advanced, beginner, native speaker? What level are you? That's going to help us. Okay, so intermediate. Yeah, it just helps me to know what level you are. So if you can let me know, that would be good. I can't read Arabic, so you need to type in English. So this lesson is part of a free English course. It's the second lesson of 8. It's lesson 2 of 8. Last week we had a lesson on Friday. Maybe you were here last week. Yeah. Today we're using the same topic, which is the environment. We're thinking about our planet, the world around us, the problems that we would perhaps face with the environment. Last week we did a lesson about studying language. That means we're doing about stress, about sounds of the word, vocabulary, sentence stress, grammar, tenses, and that kind of thing. That's last week's lesson. This week we're going to be using language. So in using language, we're going to be exploring this topic a bit in more detail. Can I ask you, have you got your webcam or microphone with you today? Have you got your webcam or microphone? Okay, this is a speaking course, so it's going to really help you if you have a microphone or webcam in this lesson. Otherwise you're going to hear my voice a lot. Okay, so let's get started then. Can you remember vocabulary from last week? What were the words that we discussed in this topic last week? That's good. Pollution, yeah, that's all connected with the environment. Can you think of anything else we can use? Any more words that we can use here? Well, I'm sure you can watch the video back if you weren't here last week. Okay, anything else? Yes, flooding. So check in the dictionary online, a dictionary, or offline dictionary, yeah, if you're not sure. Hurricane is very big wind. Yeah, somebody, Mahmoud knows his translator for it. Okay, so that's about enough words. Let's have a quick test then of the word. I'm going to describe something. Tell me what it is, okay? So this is something that grows in the ground. It grows in the ground. Okay, well we do is first plants. It grows in the ground. Of course, tree does as well. But I'm thinking about the words on this list, just on this list. Okay, this is something, it's an animal that lives at the North Pole. Big white animal. I think I'd be scared if I saw this animal coming towards me. Polar bear. Mace is right. Yes, a plant can also be a factory, can't it? In terms of a business, a plant. But very often in British English we use the word factory rather than plant. because we associate plant with a living thing. Okay, this is the word, the thing which gives everybody life, gives us life and light. Okay, which word has got two syllables? Two syllables. The sun gives us light and life. The moon can give light, but it doesn't give life. It doesn't warm us, warm our planet. Two-syllable word, flooding, is two syllables. Anything else? No. Okay, now tell me a three-syllable word. A word with three syllables. Water is two. Now a word with three syllables. Vegetables is three syllables. Irrigation is four syllables. Okay, who's got a microphone and wants to talk in the lesson? Who wants to talk now in the class? This is a speaking class, so put your hand up if you would like to join in to talk in the lesson, and I'll give you the mic. We're going to talk about these words, vocabulary words, and the topic of the environment. So put your hand up if you want to talk and say something in the class. Okay, then I'm going to pass the mic to Sarah. Yeah, you have to accept the microphone, and then we can talk. So you need to accept the mic, and then you'll be able to do it. Yeah. No. No. So we didn't get there in the end. Okay, but that's fine. Maybe Rowida. So I'm passing you the mic, Rowida. You have to accept it, and then you can talk. Okay. I can't hear you yet. I can't hear you. Can anybody hear? So try saying something, Rowita. No, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Okay, but never mind, you know, sometimes it's very difficult to get it working, alright? That's one of the problems with this, with online lessons. So let's work together now and think about the environment. Yeah, there's many factors that can go wrong, that's for sure, Rowita. Let's think about the environment. What are the problems with the environment? These days all we hear about is the environment and the problems that there are. But what are the problems, for example? So let's take a few of these ideas. I'm going to go back here. So pollution, traffic jams. Okay, what else? Pollution. Desertification. What do you mean by that? It's a good word, but what do you mean by that? Okay, yeah, so there's too much desert, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, no plants. Okay. Anything else? Maybe one more example. No? Okay. Well, let's take this then. We're going to use this technique which is called topic template, and we build a sort of table of columns. We've got problem, cause, solution, barriers, and most likely outcome. And you've given me some ideas, so pollution, traffic jams, global warming, desertification, it's an interesting pronunciation, overpopulation. You know, when we've got the suffix shun, we always have to stress before the suffix. So even though desert, it's stressed on the first syllable, isn't it, usually? So we feel like saying desertification. But we can't, because we have to stress on the A sound. So we have to, it's quite unnatural, but we have to say desertification. Well, that's just something we have to do. So let's try to fill in the table here. First of all, pollution. What is the cause of pollution? What is the cause of pollution? Cars? Yes, exactly. A lot of people have cars. Factories? Yeah. Exhaust fumes. Smoking, is it a source of pollution? Smoking? Maybe, I suppose so. Air pollution, maybe. It's nothing like the smoke that comes out of factories and cars. Rubbish is also pollution. It could be noise pollution. Somebody mentioned acoustic noise. That could be a type of pollution. If you live with a neighbour and somebody who's noisy, that is annoying, isn't it? Do you have that problem? That can be very annoying. Okay, so we've got the pollution, we've got the cause of it. What is the solution to the pollution? So, like I said, we always stress the syllable before shun. So, pollution, solution, desertification, overpopulation. What can we do about it? More trees. Why is that a solution? Why? What does that do? I'm thinking about solutions. More oxygen. Yeah. How can we get rid of the cars, you know, get people to maybe cut down on their cars, on their use of the car? Is it possible? A solar car, okay. Recycling, that's a good idea. Yes, solar cars, is it possible? Wow, that would be good. Imagine a car without any need for petrol or gas. That would be interesting. Okay, let's say we've got the solution then. Of course, there are more solutions. Maybe we can use less. We can buy less, use less stuff, but it's not going to happen, I think. What are the barriers to this solution? For example, if I want to plant more trees, what are the barriers to this? Something which makes it a problem, something which means I can't do it. Barrier. Do you know this word? Barrier means something which stops us, which prevents something. Maybe I want to plant some trees, but the barrier is that I haven't any land. Yeah, the lack of free spaces, says Heber. That's a good idea. Heber or Heber. Yeah. Lack of space. You know, if I want to build a factory, there's plenty of space. But if I want to build a tree, to plant a tree, there isn't any space because a tree doesn't produce anything. It doesn't make any money. It just stands there. What if I want to get people doing recycling? What is the barrier to this? In my town, there aren't a lot of places for recycling rubbish. Most people take all the rubbish from their flat or building and throw it in the rubbish bins. And this goes to the rubbish dump, yeah, without being recycled. But it's got to go somewhere. It has to stay somewhere. It has to be somewhere. It doesn't disappear. So what can the government do, Sarah? What do you think? Somebody said about the law, change the law or make new law, but what? Give me more information about that. Maybe again it's expensive to do recycling schemes or projects. It's expensive to recycle. What about solar car? Yeah, but I'm talking about throwing rubbish in the bins, in the big rubbish bins, where it's legal to do it, but really people shouldn't have that much rubbish because they should recycle most of the rubbish from their normal week. I mean, there are some things we can't recycle, but other things we can, all plastic, bottles, glass, cardboard, clothes. Most materials can be recycled, just for example food waste. Food waste can be used again in the garden, in composting. So the barrier for the solar car needs sun, but what if a company came up with an idea for a solar car and it was the same price as a normal car, but it didn't need any fuel or any petrol, what do you think would happen if a company produced this? Do you think other companies would be happy about that? If there was a solar car, you know, that would be a problem for the oil industry, wouldn't it? So it's not going to happen. So Raweed is more positive, optimistic than me. Will happen, but in the future, maybe. I don't think it'll happen during my lifetime, Raweed, but at the same time I couldn't imagine doing this lesson with you sort of 10 years ago or before the internet. So we don't know, we just don't know. But I think a lot of people would be against a solar car, just like a lot of people are against solar energy, water energy, wind power, because there's a lot of vested interest in keeping things as they are. I don't think there's a shortage of solar energy because the sun is shining all the time, isn't it? So, okay, we've got then, for example, problem, cause, solution. Of course we can say a solution, it's like a magic solution. Yes, we need more oxygen, more trees, recycling, solar car. But what are the barriers? Let's get real. Let's get real as well. What are the barriers? And so we've seen the barriers. What is going to be the most likely outcome? Will we be able to change the problem of pollution? Will we stop pollution, or will the barriers be too strong for us? What do you think? Yes, barriers means obstacles, that's a good word. Something which is stopping you, preventing you. I think we can be, we can be a little bit optimistic because there has been some progress with recycling. There has been some effort to make alternative travel, for example, cycling. Cycle paths are much more common. I'm talking about in my country. Companies are getting fined for causing pollution, so they have to be a bit greener. So I think there is some progress. But as far as the solar car, oh dear, what's happened? As far as the solar car goes, I think maybe not. Not yet. And Heber saying there's a lot of natural disasters. Yes, more and more because of the changing environment. There are more and more disasters. Yeah, getting more common, isn't it? So, I don't know where you live. Do you live near the ocean or near a big river? Flooding is getting more and more of a problem in the UK, definitely. Okay, let's go to the next one then. Traffic jams. What is the cause of traffic jams? What causes them? Yeah, a bit more information. Cars, of course, traffic. It can be not just cars, maybe buses as well. Buses, lorries, tractors. They're all in the traffic together. Maybe too many cars. Okay, rush hour. Yeah, everybody has to travel at the same time, but if people worked different patterns, then there wouldn't be so many cars on the road. Poor road planning, that's a good idea as well. Good, Heber, yes. A lot of people, yeah, maybe too many people. This is to do with population density, yes, overpopulation. But a lot of people moving to cities, people going to cities. But why are people moving into cities and not staying in the countryside? So we saw this in my country during the Industrial Revolution, when many people from the countryside moved quickly, in a short space of time, moved into the towns and cities. More opportunities, maybe more comfortable, I don't know. More work. You have to go where the work is. If there's no work in your village, then you need to go and find some work. Okay, so what can be the solution to traffic jams? Solution. What about a solution? Let's have some ideas. So building new cities, yeah, but people still need to travel, don't they? People still need to travel around. Maybe better planning. Maybe, but this all costs money, doesn't it? All costs money. Is it possible to limit the cars in a city? Okay, I'm passing you the mic. Yeah, so go ahead, please. Okay, yeah, so you need to accept it. I gave you the mic, so you have to accept. Let's try again. Or you can type in the box white rose and so we can read your comments. No, I can't hear you at the moment. Okay, so never mind. What about trying to limit the use of cars? Is that going to be possible? Riding bicycles, yes. Just check your spelling. Yeah. What about walking or using public transport? Do we need new roads or do we need more buses or trams? They're very light on fuel. Do you have trams where you are? Metro. If you're sitting in your car, just one person, you can see a bus going past which is carrying maybe 40 people. And it's a bit longer than your car, but you're sitting there, one person, and there are 40 people on the bus. Imagine if there were 40 cars on the road instead of the bus. So car drivers can be a little bit selfish really sometimes. They want to drive from A to B quickly, quietly, sitting on their own, listening to the radio, eating, using a mobile. But this kind of person in the future won't exist. Won't exist because there won't be enough fuel for this. So it's sort of a luxury at the moment, I think. Tram is a kind of vehicle which runs on a track or rails. But it's a light electrical vehicle. And quite cheap to run. Would be better. So people who are saying more roads, I don't know if that is the answer. What about a limit on cars' use? You know, I often discuss this topic with students, and I'm suggesting to them, what about, okay, every Sunday that nobody is allowed to use their car except for doctors or taxi drivers. Just public transport on Sundays, every Sunday. What about this idea? Is it a good idea? And think of how much fuel we'll save. Also pollution will be less. So you think it's a good idea, but my students here didn't like this idea. They said, no, we need our cars. I know people who drive, even when it's 5 minutes to walk, a 5-minute walk, they'll still drive. Doesn't make sense. Oh, in London they limit the use by making it too expensive to drive in the centre of London. Oh, Sarah's had this idea. Good. I've been to London before in the past, and it took nearly 2 hours to cross London by car. That was many years ago. 2 hours by car just to cross London. That was years ago. Now it wouldn't be like that because there are much fewer cars in the centre because it costs money. Money is the main issue for people. Some people I know are giving up their cars because they can't afford to drive them. Using a bike. Yeah. The only question about bike is where do we park it? Where do we park it? Because if somebody can quite easily steal it. But where you are, the cars are increasing every day, so that is a shame. That's just making problems for the future. So anyway, we've talked about the solution, maybe more public transport, limit on use, bike lanes, yeah. What are the barriers to the solution? So what is stopping us from having this wonderful quiet town without cars? What is stopping us? Cars are convenient, but they're not really just not viable now anymore. They're too expensive to run. We need a better alternative. So being late, that could be a barrier. Yeah, it's not convenient. We can say that inconvenient. Yeah, I talk to people and they say, oh, we don't use public transport. I want to drive from my house to my job and I don't want to walk anywhere. It's not convenient to walk to the station or to walk to the taxi rank or to walk to the bus stop. A little bit selfish, I think, these days. Of course, people don't like limit on their freedom, but what about when the freedom is against the majority of people? You know, the pollution and the effect on our planet. Okay, so let's look at the final part of this stage. The most likely outcome, for example, public transport. What do you think? What will happen? What about in your town where you live? What are people doing about public transport? Is it getting more popular or less? Here in Poland it's quite difficult to get the bus. There's a lot of private companies. There's not a good network. We never know what time they're going. Not very easy to use. But in modern cities, certainly in Europe, they're building things like tram lines. So I think again we can say maybe some progress on public transport. But limiting, because of course people are limiting. The price of petrol is limiting for some people. Some people don't use their cars on particular days because it's too expensive. I get the train to work, and it's much cheaper than using a car, much. But it's not as convenient. Yeah, it's not as comfortable. Yes, public transport is very crowded. Yeah. But I think people won't give up their cars until they have to, really. That's the bottom line. Yeah. Okay, so we can see from this technique, maybe it's something you want to use in your school where you are, or with your friends as a way of discussing further. Use this template: problem, cause, solution, barriers, outcome. That means what's going to happen, what is most likely. The most likely outcome is always probably compromise, certainly when politics is involved. Some progress, but some people disagreeing with the progress. Yeah. Outcome. We could continue with more. You know, there's lots more we could talk about. We can keep going for another hour, but we can't. We have to stop soon. We'll need to stop in a few minutes. Global warming, what is the cause of this? What is the solution? If you know the solution, please tell us. Please tell somebody. Tell a scientist. Barriers, of course, people don't believe in it. Most likely outcomes, I think, will just keep going as we are. People won't change. I'm pessimist about this. Funny board drawings, Mahmoud. What kind of funny drawings do you want to see? Well, let me draw one of the words from our list from today and see if you can guess what it is. Type in the box if you can guess what it is. Moon. The reader's awake. You've got it. Okay, the next one. Type in the box when you know. Okay. Okay. Next one. Gosh, difficult to draw. It's difficult to draw, but let's try. Oh, you didn't know I was an artist, did you? So what animal is it? I don't know if you can do better. If you want to try, just let me know and I'll give you the drawing tool. Elephant. Have you seen an elephant like that? Looks like that. No. Polar bear. Bear, yes, polar, it's white, coloured, look. Can you see it's white? It's a white one. Oh gosh, what's in here? Next thing. I'm going to draw something else. See if you can guess what it is. But can you guess the thing, what it is? What is it? So it's kind of what? Kind of, yes, you did know as an artist as well as a teacher, yeah. Car handle, car exhaust, pollution. Maisa's got it. Yes, Maisa. Okay, next one. What about this picture? Thanks, Hubbard. You're very kind. You're very, very kind to me. What's this now? Flooding? Yes, or waves, but also from this list. Water. Water, okay. Good. So let's just do a couple more and then we need to finish. So, oh gosh, how can I draw this? No, it's gone wrong. Ah, no, that one didn't work very well. Plants, yes. Well done. You've done well from that. Something wrong with my mouse at the moment, but it's not working. Okay, or crown. Could be, but it's not in our vocabulary today. Have those at crown. So that's been our lesson on this free English course, lesson 2 of 8. Next, we're always doing 2 lessons for each topic. So next week will be a different topic. Okay, I will reveal the topic next week. And so next week will be a new topic and we'll be studying language lesson, looking at the stress, connected speech, vocabulary, grammar, and so on. Thanks for joining me today. We didn't get anyone to speak. Maybe next week we'll do it. We'll get someone on the mic. Check your hardware is working. But I think we had an interesting discussion. Of course, your contribution is most important for the lesson. Without it, it's just me rabbiting on. So, but I'm not a doctor. Not yet. Not yet. Good, thank you very much, Rita. So, see you next week. If you have any questions, you can pass them on. I'm not a professor either, just a teacher, If you have any questions, you can pass them on to Mahmoud, and he will contact me then. So, thanks a lot. See you next time. Bye for now.